Buckle up, space fans. We often picture the universe as a peaceful and serene place, but trust us, it's actually a wild ride out there. Don't be fooled. The cosmos can get pretty rough, with many galaxies and planets facing some serious threats. And right now, Earth is in the crosshairs of several of those space risks, including asteroids. In this video, we're shining our spotlight on one small but mighty space rock 101,955 Bennu. This tiny Titan's carbon-rich composition earns it the cool title of a Type C asteroid or carbonaceous asteroid. Bennu was first spotted back in September 1999 by Lincoln's Near-Earth Asteroid Research Team, and we can't wait to dive deeper into its fascinating story. Fast forward to the discovery day, September 11th, 1999, when this tiny asteroid was first spotted and given a temporary name 1999 RQ-36. But soon, astronomers wanted something more personal for Bennu. In 2012, three big players in space research, the University of Arizona, the Planetary Society, and Lincoln's Linear Project, teamed up to host a naming contest open to all. And guess what? The winning name came from an unexpected place. A third-grade superstar named Michael Puzio from North Carolina. Michael drew inspiration from Egyptian mythology. And just like that, Bennu was born. This asteroid is considered high risk, ranking second on the Sentinel risk table and Palermo technical impact risk scale. It's moving at a mind-blowing speed of 101,389 km per hour as it orbits the Sun every 6 years, giving us a close-up show each time it passes by Earth. So, what's Bennu really like? As it absorbs the Sun's rays during its journey around the solar system, this asteroid heats up and emits thermal radiation in all directions as it rotates. Kind of like how our planet warms up during the day. Thanks to some serious space research from the Arecibo Observatory, Planetary Radar, Goldstone Deep Space Network, and NASA's OSIRIS-REx mission, we've got an amazing picture of Bennu. Launched in 2016, the OSIRIS-REx spacecraft is on a mission to collect a sample from Bennu's surface and bring it back for us to analyze, talk about space exploration. On June 18, 2019, this tiny explorer managed to get crazy close, snapping an image just 600 meters above Bennu's surface. By studying asteroids like Bennu, we're not only learning more about our cosmic neighborhood, but also gaining valuable insights that could one day help us predict and prevent potential asteroid threats headed straight for Earth. So, let's break down the Bennu basics. Based on all those cool observations we've been talking about, here's what we know so far. This asteroid has a super unique shape. It's like a spindle or an elongated ball. And get this, its rotation axis is tilted a whopping 178 degrees from its orbit path. It spins in the opposite direction of how it moves around the Sun, which is pretty rare for asteroids. Initially, radar scans thought Bennu's surface was soft and squishy, but OSIRIS-REx images totally busted that myth, revealing a rugged terrain covered with rocks of all sizes. Plus, the surface is loaded with regolith, which forms a super distinct ridge around the equator. Now, astronomers have noticed something called the Yarkovsky effect affecting Bennu's path over time, causing it to shift about 1.5 meters per year. Lastly, density tests showed that Bennu's not as heavy as you'd think. Its apparent density is only slightly higher than water. Now we're getting into the big questions. So, if we put all the pieces together, that unique shape and surface, super low density, and debris pile interior structure, scientists think Bennu's got a pretty porous composition. In fact, they estimate about 40% of its interior is made up of empty space, which points to it being more like a pile of rubble than a solid rock. Now, when we talk about size, Bennu measures around 0.5 kilometer in diameter. That's huge for an asteroid. But the real question is, could it impact Earth? The good news is that its orbital path makes a close approach with our planet pretty unlikely. However, if disaster were to strike, the consequences would be massive. With an estimated mass of 7,329 kilograms, Bennu would release an enormous amount of energy upon impact, causing widespread destruction and potentially even global cooling due to the amount of dust kicked up into the atmosphere. So, while we're on high alert for asteroids like Bennu, it's reassuring that this one seems pretty low risk. For now, here's what we'd be looking at: an asteroid of this size, around 500 meters in diameter, crashing into our planet. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie. And believe it or not, Scientists say this kind of impact happens about every 130,000 years on average. Now, when it comes to Bennu specifically, its physical properties and orbital path get factored into the risk assessment. Thanks to detailed radar observations from 980, 9, 5, and 11, scientists have been able to refine their predictions. As of 2014, the estimated probability of Bennu hitting Earth falls within a narrow time frame, between 2,175 and 2,196, with a cumulative chance of about 0.037%. That's roughly equivalent to a minus 1.71 score on the Palermo scale, which is actually relatively low risk. But let's put our imaginations to work. What would happen if Bennu did make landfall? Let's paint a picture here. The atomic bomb Little Boy that hit Hiroshima released an energy blast of about 13 kilotons, causing catastrophic devastation and leveling everything in its path. Now imagine Bennu impacting Earth. The energy released would be off the charts, equivalent to a massive 1,200 megatons. To put that into perspective, it's roughly 90 times more powerful than Little Boy. As we look ahead, Bennu will make an incredibly close pass by our planet on September 23, 2060, just 750,000 kilometers or about 460,000 miles away, which is mind-bogglingly close in astronomical terms and won't even be visible with regular binoculars. This close encounter sets the stage for a potential divergence in its trajectory around the year 2135. Fast forward to September 25, 2135, Bennu will make another record-breaking close approach, this time at about 300,000 kilometers, or roughly 190,000 miles from our planet. But here's the thing, it could potentially slip through a super narrow gravitational keyhole during its pass that's just around 55 kilometers wide, which is an incredibly tiny margin for error. This keyhole could actually set the stage for a future impact scenario, and if you can believe it, there's even a possibility of Bennu coming back to haunt Earth again in 2175 with a probability of impact that's roughly 1 in 24,000. Buckle up, space fans, we've got a countdown to a potential impactor on our hands. The most threatening virtual impactor is actually predicted for September 24th, 2196, when there's a 1 in 11,000 chance of Bennu making landfall. And if you're wondering about the bigger picture, there's also a 1 in 2,700 cumulative probability of an impact between 2,175 and 2,199. Now let's talk origins. Scientists believe that Bennu itself likely broke off from a massive space body, possibly even another planet or planetoid. That's some mind-blowing cosmic history right there. Thanks for tuning in today. Don't forget to hit that like button and leave your questions in the comments below if you've got more to explore. That's all for today's intergalactic adventure. Thanks for joining me as we explored the asteroid Bennu. But if you're ready to shift gears and level up your sleight of hand, don't miss out on our top secret tutorial, Just click the link below to reveal